Good morning. Last night there was a massive power outage in my part of town. It happened at 12:58, and I know because the ceiling fan stopped working over my bed. The house grew quiet, and when I looked out the window at the rest of town, well, the entire part of the city was in darkness. And it's interesting to me when I think about this darkness and light. In the darkness, we called the power company and it said, don't worry, in 2 hours it's going to be all back up and running. And yet, what you know in your head doesn't always mitigate what you feel. So there's a sense of isolation, maybe vulnerability. You really don't know what darkness is until you are plunged into it. And that's so much like our relationship with the divine, with the Holy One, with God, whatever we call this divine being that is accompanying us and loving us and leading us through our lives. Until we experience that encounter with God, no amount of telling us what it's like is going to be enough. We're never really going to understand it until we experience it. This sense of moving from our head to our heart is something that we've been talking about for weeks now. And the greatest parallel I see between these two events, the darkness of the power outage and the mysterious experience of encountering God through our lives, is that you and I are not in control of any of it. This experience of knowing God, these holy encounters, are not something we can make happen, just like I can't wish the lights to go back on. I only know the darkness by being in the middle of it. I only know the divine by being right in the center of God. And those encounters have nothing to do with my willing it, or my controlling it, or even my wanting it. What I'm called to do, just like I was asked to do last night, to wait 2 hours until the power came back on. In my relationship with God, I'm called to do the same, to wait, to trust, to believe, to hope. And when I place myself in the position where all those senses and all of my normal way of navigating the world through my mind and through my intellect are set aside, it's only then that God can encounter me, can lead me to an encounter that will last the rest of my life. Yes, sometimes there'll be flashes of light and tastes of longing that we want more, but ultimately it's the work of God. We sit and we wait, and we prepare our hearts to be receptive to the presence of God when the spiritual lights go on.